I'm David Warren, President and CEO of Bridgeford Trust Company. The race to become the best trust jurisdiction in the United States continues to be a hot topic. As most of you know, there are 4 states that have been considered to be the top trust jurisdictions or top tier trust jurisdictions, and that debate continues to rage among advisors and attorneys and asset managers around the country. That debate was brought to life for us at Bridgeford because we were asked to participate in a panel discussion in Southern California with our contemporary states considered to be among the top tier jurisdictions, including South Dakota, Nevada, Wyoming, and Alaska, and a few others. And that panel discussion underscored and highlighted in particular detail just how hot this debate is at this point. And as part of our preparation for that panel discussion, we prepared and produced a very specific and detailed and well-researched chart comparing the various trust jurisdictions: South Dakota, Nevada, Alaska, Delaware, and Wyoming. Wyoming is creeping up the rankings there, and they were represented on the panel. And what we found through the objective comparison of various areas, that there are 5 very specific areas in trust law where South Dakota clearly is the better choice. When you consider Dynasty Trusts, most commentators believe, in fact all commentators believe, including a commentator and lawyer from Nevada, says that South Dakota has the most prolific and extensive Dynasty Trust provisions in the nation. Community property trust is a very, very hot topic right now. South Dakota just passed it. We're very excited about it. South Dakota is now one of 2 states that has the ability for spouses to create a community property trust, thereby shielding themselves from federal taxation at the death of the first spouse and when the second spouse tries to sell the assets. That's a very new development and something that we spent a lot of time talking about in South Dakota, or rather San Francisco. And the issue there, which makes it even more compelling, is the fact that Alaska, which is the only other state in the country that has this capability, is undergoing some real financial stress right now, and there's a real likelihood that they're going to start to tax trusts. So that means that South Dakota will be the only option in this particular situation. Decanting is another very, very important aspect of wealth planning and the ability to take old tire trusts and make them new and applicable to the current generation. South Dakota has been considered again by the same Nevada attorney to have the most extensive statute on decanting, and that's been now 4 or 5 years in a row. And that's another area of comparison among the other states where South Dakota just clearly shines. But probably the most compelling area is in the space of privacy. South Dakota has been routinely acknowledged by not only commentators but writers, Trust and Estates magazine, particularly wealth magazines, wealth publications, of having the most powerful privacy provisions in the country. Which there are actually 2 aspects to that. One is the ability to keep a trust quiet, which means you don't have to reveal it ever to subsequent beneficiaries or current beneficiaries. And the other idea, or the other component of that, is the idea of not having trust information revealed to the public in the event of a litigation. The final point that we talked about at the conference and is well accentuated in the chart is 8 basis points is the insurance premium tax. And that is a little known, somewhat esoteric and a little bit myopic area of trust planning, but each state has their own tax that they levy upon the sale of insurance products. South Dakota, again I mentioned, is 8 basis points. South Dakota's is the lowest by far. The Delaware's is 200 basis points. Nevada's is 350 basis points. So when you add those 5 areas up in the aggregate, when you consider them all together, when you do your final analysis as to where to put your trust, it becomes pretty clear, it becomes objectively clear where the best jurisdiction is, what is the best jurisdiction. And from that perspective, we're pretty excited about that, and we like to talk about that with our clients. For more information, please feel free to contact Bridgeford Trust Company through our website or call me directly. We're happy to talk to you about these issues. They're quickly changing. They're changing in a way that continues to favor South Dakota as the premier trust jurisdiction in the country.